Listen, I know that you want to enjoy springtime here in Colorado Springs. There's a lot of great things about springtime here, but there's also a lot of infuriating things about it. And you just need to know them so that you can maximize your life and be the best you. And it starts with beautiful things that we all love. Wildflowers. Sam, I have a question for you. Tell me what are the best flowers that people should be on the lookout for, and where can they find them?
They are all over the mountains. They should be on the lookout for those ones.
Okay.
And
yes. Which flowers though?
There's these ones that bloom, and they're up in the mountains.
Thanks for coming to our video. We'll see you later. Okay, so
obviously columbine.
The columbine. So the columbine is the state flower of Colorado, and here's a beautiful picture of it that our lovely assistant Jamie/Maddie is gonna throw in here for you. Columbines are absolutely beautiful. They're so beautiful that my fiance actually has them tattooed all over her arm because she is just a Colorado aficionado. But the wildflowers here really are spectacular. So between May and August is kind of your best time frame to see them. And you'll see columbines, you'll see lupines and Indian paintbrushes. There's tons of gorgeous flowers here. Fireweed, yep, which is different than Colorado weed.
Yeah. It's very different.
Very different. And so you can find them. I think some of the best places to find them are just generally the open spaces, obviously the mountains, like you said. But some of the open spaces, like Garden of the Gods, that obviously is just this unbelievable place. Another less traversed one, because Garden of the Gods is like the iconic picture of Colorado Springs, is Cheyenne Mountain State Park. So if you bounce over there, you'll see all kinds of just beautiful flowers in bloom. You know, actually, I was really surprised last year, and maybe this is just normal, but man, the mountains were so green so long. We got a lot of rain last year, so that would have been 2022 at the time of the recording of this video. And it was so green, and there were so many flowers, and it was just like absolutely awesome. So the other nice thing that is potential along with wildflowers, because how are you going to see wildflowers? Well, I guess you can drive to Garden of the Gods, or you can go hiking. And now that it's getting a little bit warmer, so yesterday was 65, today it's snowing.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But you can also go hiking. And so we are big fans of doing spring hikes. You just have to keep in mind that some of the things that are, the really important thing here is because like you can find hikes, right? Alltrails.com. If you want to do a 14 or get after it, but be careful, is that it's going to be muddier. There's going to be a lot more snow runoff, right? It's going to be wet.
But it's going to be really pretty.
Oh, but it's going to be so pretty. And it's just kind of nice to get out there because a lot of people aren't doing them until the rush comes.
Yeah.
So for example, if you go do the incline right now, the incline is actually, well, as of yesterday, it was all melted off and dry. So you could just like go up to the top and get that early. Most people aren't looking to do that until like, you know, really like May or June. So a little bit later. But right now, if you go, it's like, it's way less busy. That being said, you got to pay attention to what I don't want to spoil it. So we'll keep it for later.
Okay.
So what else? We've done hiking. We've seen all the wildflowers. What else is important about springs and the springs and the springs?
Man, I love all the outdoor festivals that come with the spring. A little bit later in the year, looking more like May, June sort of time frame. So almost kind of summer, but absolutely love the outdoor festivals here. You've got the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. You've got Territory Days, all sorts of really, really cool things. And those come with the farmer's market, where you can pick up some really cool local products, some amazing food. Last year, there was a guy roasting fresh green chilies there. Every farmer's market.
I love that.
Absolutely amazing. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the weather warming up.
Yeah, I do love farmers markets. And this is actually something that a lot of people don't realize about Colorado Springs is because they think Colorado, they think big mountains, they think the hiking like we just talked about or the biking or whatever. But they don't realize like we are surrounded by farmland actually. And surrounded meaning like the other direction. Kind of east of us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of farmland there. There's a lot of ranching. And so in the springtime, you do have a lot of these local farmers markets that open up, and there's incredible produce there. In the meantime, by the way, until those harvests happen, there's a little place that I would like to give a shout out to. It's called Ranch Foods Direct. It's off of Fillmore. It's kind of like dead center in town. And I go out of my way to go to this place. It's like if a farmer's market had a brick and mortar store.
Yeah.
Very, very small. I mean, we're talking, what, like 300, 400 square feet?
Maybe.
Like, it's a pretty small shop.
Yeah.
But their main thing is is the meat from the local ranchers. So you know where it's coming from. It's really, really close. So we get a lot of our meat from there. They also have meat that's been like ground up for like pets, which is awesome. And so you can also get tons of organs, bones. I mean, pretty much just anything. Good bone broth. There are like little pre-made meals there, chili and soups, and they'll kind of rotate those. They'll also have, it's kind of an eclectic variety of little snacks and things from like local bakeries, for example. So like last Christmas, we got some pies from there. They were so good. They also do for Thanksgiving these giant turkeys that are from local ranches as well, which is pretty awesome. They're all grass-fed and free range and all those things. We get pallets of eggs from the Amish communities that are around here, butter, cheese, I mean all the things. Ranch Foods Direct, that's what it's called. It's pretty spectacular. One more plug. You won't find this anywhere else. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but I need you to know this because it's important. Raw milk is illegal to sell in Colorado, like at a grocery store, which, by the way, is stupid. There's only like 12 states in the U.S. that you can buy raw milk. You can get all these other, you can buy, enriched corn flour or enriched wheat flour rather, and hydrogenated corn syrup, but you can't have raw milk because, oh my gosh. Anyway, but there is a way. And it's, you basically buy into, what's the right word for it? It's like a co-op. So these local ranchers, you can actually buy part of the cow. So you're partial owner of Bessie, and you then are able to then get raw milk from this ranch because it's like it's your cow. So you can do that. I bring it up now because you can do that through Ranch Foods Direct. That's actually the delivery location for this highly illegal but super beneficial raw milk, and it's a totally legal way to go about doing it. So you didn't hear that anywhere else because we're the only ones that know good information like that. So keep watching. Sorry. I'm really passionate about that, and I'm really annoyed. But they do have good milk there. They have like extra creamy whole milk, which is, I don't know how close to raw milk it is, but it's pretty freaking good. And now that I've drank it, I can't drink milk from the normal grocery store. I love milk.
Fair enough.
Just strong bones and vitamin C's.
It does do those things.
Yeah.
It does do those things. What else, man? Let's talk about the infuriating part of spring.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
What was it yesterday?
Yesterday it was 65 degrees. I was outside in a t-shirt, much like I am today.
It felt awesome.
It was beautiful. And then last night, I sleep with my window open because I'm a psychopath. And it's cold at night. But I woke up multiple times because the cold front came through and the wind was just whistling and howling and blowing everything around. And so today is the final result of that.
Yeah.
It's snowing. It's cold.
Yep.
It sucks outside
So
right
like
now.
30-degree swing in less than 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's rad because in the mountains, they're getting hammered by snow.
Yeah. It's great for skiing.
Yep. So we will get to that because
Yes.
that's a major key for Colorado Springs. But, you start getting teased. It's like, oh, I'm so warm.
Yep.
And then you're like,
And then it's like, boom, I'm not.
yeah. So it kind of just messes up your temperature gauge.
Messes up the vibes, man.
Yeah, the vibes. You see the sun. I mean, it's always sunny, but you're just like, you start to kind of get amped. Yeah. And I know people say that like, oh, this happens everywhere. Have you ever? But shut up. It's worse in the springs. It's maybe not the worst.
Maybe not the worst,
That was
but
rude. That was aggressive.
it is frustrating because
Yeah.
you get these beautiful, beautiful warm days where you can be out in the backyard, working out in the backyard if you work from home, just fantastic days. And then the next day, it's snowy and it's crappy. Little known fact, February and March here, right when we're starting to transition into spring, those are our heaviest snow months. Heaviest snow months in our state.
We're feeling it.
Yep.
And so here's the thing. I actually love it because, like, I feel like, oh, well, December, January, I should be skiing my face off. And then it's like right now you pull up like open snow or just the weather app, but you pull up something like that and it's just like you see the snow forecast and it's coming.
Time
and
to
it's
ski.
awesome. Wolf Creek, 30 inches today.
Yeah.
Hello, that's insane.
That's after how many other inches throughout?
Yeah,
like
no kidding.
400 inches?
And look, I know that some of you are watching this and like, yeah, well, in California, we got 33 feet of snow yesterday. I get that, but we're not talking about that right now. And this is consistent. That's an anomaly. So get out of here. But that is a huge thing. One of my favorite things about spring in the Springs is spring skiing. Our season here goes really, really late.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have places if it's a good year, and this year has been a pretty good year. So like, fingers crossed. There are places that you would expect to be able to ski late April, potentially early May.
Oh, dude, I've seen people ski on July 4th here.
Okay, but like backcountry or at a resort.
At a resort.
Zah!
Yeah, I've seen it. That is an anomaly. Doesn't happen every
Also
year.
an anomaly, but it's way cooler than your 43 feet of snow.
It is pretty cool.
In Reno yesterday. Also, what do you wear when you do that? The shortest shorts possible, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Short shorts, no shirt, spring skiing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tank top.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, because sunburn.
Yeah.
Don't forget sunscreen because it'll reflect in goggles. You still need those because you'll go snowblind. I have a great story
But spring
about
skiing,
that.
Bluebird Day, you will see people out there in blue jeans and t-shirts tearing up the slopes.
I actually, no kidding, saw somebody doing that like a week ago. And I was like, who are you
doing?
psychopaths? There are the people that they're like, they're locals and they want you to know that they're hardcore. They kind of are. Anyway, but spring skiing here is super, super awesome and it goes super late. And so it keeps dumping snow. You can get into the backcountry, be safe, check out like Colorado Avalanche information before you go out and do anything psycho like that. But it just extends that season so long and it's so magical.
It does. So even with the infuriating parts of spring, there's still some great parks. You can get out there, ski, snowshoe. I love snowshoeing, honestly.
Yeah.
There's still some great parts, even when it's annoying.
As the great Anthony Robbins, as it were, once said, what if life was happening for you and not to you? It looks like it's happening to you, but it's all happening for you. What if even the pain and problems were gifts and you found the meaning and you were free of the pain? Spring weather.
Spring weather.
It's happening for you. That's where I was going with that.
I can't believe you memorized that.
There's more. You want me to keep? I can keep going. Okay.
That was like that scene from Rudy where he like gets up in the locker room and
just gives the speech.
Yeah.
So, anywho, so that's a really fantastic thing about spring / also infuriating thing. By the way, I'm going to also segment, if you are going to hike, we're going to wrap those things together. If you are going to hike, you need to watch my 14ers video. We will link it at the end of this video because there's some super critical stuff in that talks about like what to pack and what weather sites to use, and because that can be super dangerous. I have been on top of a 14er in the spring and had complete whiteout conditions. I could not see. Like, you lose all senses. It's extremely disorienting, and you need to know that there's a couple tools that you can use that will actually keep you oriented and keep you going in the right direction. It'll direct you straight towards the like button and the subscribe button down below. Boom! So please do that. That would be really appreciated. But check out that video so that you can safely take advantage of spring in the spring, because life is happening for you when it does snow like this.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Okay. I don't really do this next activity.
Well, let me throw in a caveat.
Okay.
Here. It is screwing me up right now. It's screwing my whole system up. But one of my favorite parts about spring here is we get some daylight back. You know? The whole hour thing is really messing up like
it's rough.
my whole system right now.
Yeah.
But I love when the sun's back out after 6 p.m. You know?
Yeah, because like it gets long days here, right?
Yeah, yeah. Nothing crazy. I mean,
but it's just right.
Yeah, it's not like you're up in Canada and it's like, you know, sun's going down at like 11 p.m.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
But you get like midsummer, which this is not a summer in the springs video, it's a spring in the springs video, but we're on our way, and
it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yeah, sunset, 9 o'clock, and like, so you still have like twilight as you're like laying in bed. So fun fact that we'll talk about in the spring cleaning video is get your blackout curtains ready, because goodness gracious.
Are you in bed at 9?
Yeah.
Dang.
I got things to do. I like try to wind down at
your
9
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and you're like cruising on into bed after that.
Yeah. No, I do try to go to bed by 10. I try to be asleep by 10.
Okay.
So I'm like winding down at 9 o'clock-ish. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Unless I'm working for you, in which case I'll do whatever it takes. I hate myself for that. But anyway, yeah, so the days are going to get longer, and it's pretty great because they can be pretty short in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually like again, it's not Alaska.
4:30, like your day is over.
Yeah.
You know?
And it makes it really hard as realtors. It makes it very difficult. Somebody gets off work, you're going to go see a house, guaranteed it's going to be dark outside.
Yep.
Because they're at work all day.
Yep.
And seeing a house at night, it works. And if you're going to buy a house, I even advocate, if you've got the time and the market conditions are appropriate, go see the house during the day, go see the house during the night, get the vibe, make sure it doesn't feel creepy at night, whatever. But it's like, in the wintertime, you basically have no choice. You're going to go see it at
It's
night.
going to be dark. Yeah.
Unless you just leave work.
Yeah.
Just
And
tell
any
me about
outdoor activity that you're doing, like the day just feels so short. Like if you want to go ski, it's like 4:30, like the day is over.
Yep. Yep. Again, we've done 14ers in the winter, and like you're going to start your hike in the dark, and then like you're going to
finish that hike in the dark.
Yeah. Well, you're like coming down off the mountain. Yeah. Because it's just like, it's very, very short.
Yeah.
It's not Alaska. I get it.
Yeah.
Get off my back. It's aggressive for me. Stop trying to compare your trauma to mine. Anywho, another thing.
Yeah.
This is actually a really wonderful thing is springtime wildlife.
Yes.
I love this. And we're actually both in this Facebook group. It's Colorado Springs Hunters and Anglers. And recently there was a post that was in there that the news put out that was just an article that was shared in there. And it was about shed hunting. So if you don't know what shed hunting is, it's, elk and mule deer, their antlers fall off. They shed. Every year. They fall off their heads. And so they all look like female animals. And then they grow back and they're all velvety, and then eventually they harden. So if you didn't know that, now you know. You can watch our whole hunting video on that. But anyway, after April 1st, that's like there's no shed hunting. So if you're out in the wild and you find one of those sheds, like a big old elk antler, you cannot pick that up.
Do you know why they do that?
No.
After April 1st.
Oh. Well, I know a reason, but I want to hear what you're going to say.
Because they're calving at that point in the year. Trying to keep pressure.
Is that like when glaciers fall apart, calving?
Yes. That's exactly what happens. Elk just fall apart. No.
Actually, yeah. They really did.
Yeah, they're trying to like keep pressure off the animals, like getting into summer and things like that. And so after April 1st, it's illegal to be out there hunting for sheds.
Before April 1st.
Or before April 1st,
Yep.
Sorry. It's illegal to be out there hunting for sheds.
Technically west of I-25, so basically anywhere that the main areas that elk could be. Right. So know what you're doing. Don't do something stupid and get in a lot of trouble, because those are pretty hefty fines. But anyway, so spring wildlife, so they're calving. You start seeing more animal activity. You'll see elk roaming around. In fact, coming back from Vale last weekend, we saw another herd of like 100 elk right on this hillside, right by the highway as we were driving by. And, it like almost causes an accident just because people are like, because they're freaking out because they've never seen, a lot of people have never seen an animal that big. You've seen a deer, but like until you've seen an elk, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
That's a big old animal.
Yeah.
And then if you're blessed to see the mythical creature, the moose.
Monstrous.
Yeah, I've only ever seen one, and it was at Rocky Mountain National Park. So it's almost
Same.
like seeing one at a zoo. Does it count? I don't know. It's still a national park.
It counts. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It counts.
But some people see them at like Breckenridge when you're on the gondola, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, there's just a lot more activity. One thing I really love about spring in the springs, just spring in general, is it's like you've been sensory deprived. Your ears have been like sensory deprived for the last 12 months because the earth is covered in snow. I said 12 months, like 4 months because the earth is like covered in snow and whatever. And then you start, when the songbirds start coming back and you start hearing them singing their magical song. Maddie, play one for us. It's beautiful. We love it. I actually really like that about spring. Just the wildlife. I'm a freak for wildlife.
Dude, my yard is full almost every day of cedar waxwings now.
Okay, I guess I'm not a freak because I don't know what that is.
Super cool birds. Super, super pretty birds. I have a crabapple tree in the front yard, and all the crab apples fell during the winter, and these birds come in and they like attack the front lawn. Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
I like hiking because I like marmots. Like my main goal when I'm hiking is like some people are so focused on, I want to get to the top of this mountain. And me, I'm just like, I want to see some marmots.
Do not try to feed them.
No, that's rude.
That is bad. Yeah. Don't try to feed them, but they are pretty cute.
Yeah, respect your wildlife. But if you don't know what a marmot is, it's basically a mountain beaver. Here's a photo. Thanks, Maddie, again. There are these little mountain beavers.
Yeah.
Just minus the big flappy tail.
Yeah.
But so then if you're hiking along and you see a cairn, it's pretty obvious that the mountain beaver built it.
No. Yes.
I like to think that the mountain beavers built them. Really, it's just psychopath humans that have a lot of time and they're just stacking rocks so that you can find the way. If you
the
don't know
14ers Institute.
Yeah, and just people. Have you ever built a cairn?
No.
Me neither. So, wildlife in the springs is really pretty magical.
It is. It really is. What do you look forward to in spring? I know there's a thing I look forward to. Maybe it's because I'm a weirdo, but I like cleaning my house in the spring.
I cannot say the same.
No?
No.
So you don't do any spring cleaning?
I do spring cleaning.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I look
But you don't look forward to. I do. Does it get so dirty here in the wintertime? Like it's constantly snowing, melting. It's like your car, your house, like where you walk into your house, your entryway, like all that stuff. Dust is everywhere because you kept the doors closed the whole winter and the windows closed the whole winter unless you're Kyle and you sleep with the windows open when it's like 30 degrees outside. I don't get it.
I have a built-in warming system.
That is true. But I love spring cleaning, man. Just getting the house all clean and buttoned up because I know come summertime, I'm going to have windows and doors open all the time.
That's true. Because we don't have bugs flying around. We ain't got mosquitoes. Yeah. So here's the thing, is spring cleaning is super important. And here it's a little bit different. You've got to take some different things into consideration because of what Sam was talking about. The winter can be pretty brutal and it can actually be pretty brutal on your house. And we care about you having your house in a good condition so that when it comes time to sell, you are competitive. Your house sells because it's not destroyed. So we have a video. It'll be linked. I don't know if it can be linked right now, but maybe at the end of the video, I'll do this again and you'll see it right over my hand or not. Because I don't have a green screen, so I don't know what that looks like. But anyway, watch this video about spring cleaning in Colorado Springs specifically because you need to know some of the things that you should be looking for and how you can de-winterize your house.
Yep.
It's important. I mean, you could do the same thing for your car in some respects as well, but for your house, it's really, really important because we really care about keeping that value up. So we will have a video for you on that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Spring's dope. It's awesome.
Sometimes infuriating.
And this spring, last thing, but the most important thing, truthfully, it's not just to keep you here and to drag this out.
Go ahead.
Should I tell them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
This year specifically, this spring is going to shape probably the next few years of spring times, specifically when we talk about the economy and the housing market. That's right. It is super, super important. And the other video that you're going to see linked here, so we're going to have 3. We got the 14ers, we've got spring cleaning. These are super important, but we're also going to have a spring market update because right now there's a lot of crazy things happening. You got bank runs globally, actually, as of this morning, Swiss Bank as well. And so you've got bank runs happening, you've got bank closures, inventory low. What does that mean for you? How do you sell your home if you want to sell it? And if you're trying to buy a home, how can you use that information to leverage and put yourself in a better position? So what's going to happen with that? What's going to happen with the banks? What's going to happen with interest rates? All those things Chris and I are going to talk about in the spring market update. It is super critical to understand this stuff. At the end of the day, we're realtors. We want to help you do this, but we pride ourselves on making sure that our clients are the most educated clients when it comes to buying and selling real estate, because you have your own taste. You can find a house on Zillow that you like, but we want you to also make educated decisions and be grateful that you can make further decisions and build your own strategy for the rest of your life, right? So this phone number that is at the bottom, that's how you can reach us. We're the guys that answer the phones,
that's right.
The emails, the weekly emails, the Facebooks, all that stuff. This is it.
Yep, that's right. See you next time.
Boing, 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 boing. I just want Tigger springing along.